music what moves me. I try to walk a fine line, but I find I'm influenced by drugs all the time. When I'm
Louie. This is Luddy. We got Sherm.
Cheers.
Cheers. And this is our inaugural music podcast. We are speaking into the void because there's nobody here but us, but we're talking to you still somehow. It's magic.
Thank you if you're here.
Appreciate you tuning in.
Hell yeah. So what we have planned for today is Spotify Wrapped episode. Spotify, Apple Music, music wrapped. We are all local musicians from Boise, Idaho. We got projects coming out very soon. We can dive into that later. But right now, how are we doing today, boys?
Solid.
Chilling.
Good.
Here to make some nice.
You guys both got your beauty sleep.
Oh,
yes,
most
we did.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're not quite as disciplined as Louie over here.
No.
Not yet, at least.
Stuff early, man.
Yeah, this guy moves.
Yeah. So the outline for this episode, we're gonna go over our top artists as well as our top songs. Obviously, they're big influences in our lives. We spend a lot of time listening to music as well as creating it. So yeah, I figure we just dive right in.
Let's go. Let's start with yours then, Louie.
Sure.
We'll do. How about your bottom artist? What was your fifth artist on your list here?
Word.
Of most listened to artists this year.
So my fifth most listened to artist is a band that has been maybe the most influential band in my life, and it is surprising that this is the first year they've cracked my top 5 Spotify Wrapped. They are the Decemberists, and I know what you're thinking. What a fucking white washed fifth artist to have on your list. And while that is true, I stand by the Decemberists as being one of the greatest groups of all time. They're the songwriting talent of Colin Malloy, who's their lead singer, has always just stuck with me. They really paint a picture in every single one of their songs. Their albums are all super conceptual and just really fantastic.
They move like from song to song very well. Like
Mm-hmm.
they structure their songs like kind of like telling a story.
Yeah.
You can listen to them top to bottom. Like that's what true artists should do, right? If you're gonna make an album, you should be able to organize it.
While you're doing shit around the house or while you're out and about doing shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I came across the Decemberists way back in the day. My mom was a big NPR listener, obviously.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so they would pop up on NPR all the time. And so she got me a bunch of their albums when I was young. And they always came with lyric booklets. And so I would spend hours in my room, dude, just
like reading along with it.
Reading along, dude. And it honestly was one of the ways that I learned how to read. Like it was.
That's fine.
It was.
So this is like you've been listening to these guys since you were like
dude,
a wee lad.
Since
you were a wee lad.
Some true sentimental.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I'm not 100% sure what my top songs would have been by them, but
Did they put out an album this year?
They haven't put out an album since 2016, I think.
Okay.
But
you're still heavy listening. Like you're going back
every year, man. And it's so crazy. This is one of the only bands that just never gets old for me, man. I can listen to Decemberists
That's what's up.
at any time, and it's always
Are they still
super
dropping
good.
songs even though they're not doing full albums?
Somewhat. I haven't heard a new Decemberist song in a while.
Okay.
But yeah, they're kind of like folk pop rock.
Nice.
In that lane, they've got some weird outliers. Like they've got this song called the Mariner's Revenge song that details this guy whose mom married this sleazy douchebag after his dad died, and he bankrupts their family, and then he spends his whole life in poverty searching for this dude to murder him. And then he gets this job as a like swabbing the deck on a boat, and he finally hears about this ship that's captained by this fucking douchebag, and so he goes to track him down, and as they're about to fucking board this ship. This giant whale fucking swallows them all alive, and then he kills them in the belly of this dude's whale, bro.
What the fuck?
So sick.
That's
like
that's that's an insane
It's
song.
one of my favorite songs of all time. Oh, it's so good.
We'll have to when this is all said and done, you'll have to pull that one up.
Yeah,
I'm like
100%.
really
It's
curious
so
to hear
good.
the story on
It's
this
so
one. That's
good.
crazy.
But yeah, I guess my final parting notes on that one is Zach Fox. Fuck you, cause there's this one skit he does about like white people shit basically.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And he's like, oh, my favorite band is the Descendants. It hit me so hard. In my heart, dude. I was
You're
like,
like,
"Oh."
Zach, don't do me like that.
No. Why are you so right?
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But-
he's a funny dude. He's too accurate.
Yeah, man.
Well then pass it off to you then. Who was your fifth artist most
Fifth
listened
artist
to this year?
this year was the Kid Leroy.
Okay.
And it's somebody that I've been listening to for a long time purely because I found out about him through Juice WRLD, who actually discovered this artist, and
Right.
he was still making music and posting on SoundCloud and doing all that kind of stuff growing up. He's from Australia.
Young
But-
kid,
I didn't know.
Super
I
young
didn't know
kid.
Kid Leroy was Australian.
Yeah.
Really?
Australian.
That's pretty.
And
does he talk Australian? Like,
Yeah, he has an accent.
'Cause it's
for
like-
sure.
it's one of those
gotten,
things-
It's gotten more diluted
Yeah.
since he's been spending more time in
UK
America.
and Australian artists when they sing sound like they're from America.
It's so
Exactly.
weird.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing. I don't
Yeah.
understand how that works.
Yeah.
Or
But,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, so basically Juice WRLD was on like a tour and then kind of discovered him, and then
Just
they
like-
started making music and he kind of took him under his wing and just said, come on, you're gonna be rolling with us. So I always loved Juice WRLD growing up, and the fact that Juice WRLD thought that much of him, I was like, I gotta give this kid a shot. But
Now he's huge.
oh yeah, he's changed his music so much over the like this year. He had like a much different album than what he was doing. Like the initial voice that he created for himself, it was kind of back when Juice WRLD was alive, and it was more like upbeat pop, and he was younger and had some anger and was just going through relationship shit. But the album that he dropped this year was a lot more like
Mature.
When did it drop?
much more mature. I would say it dropped.
August-ish.
I would say
Because
about-
he just dropped a song with Future and
Yeah, What's the Move? That song goes
that
crazy.
Song goes crazy. Yeah, that
What's
song
the
is
Move?
sick. I like that
That
song
shit
a
goes
lot.
crazy. Yeah, that was actually the only song on his album that kind of reminded me of his old music.
Yeah.
Cause he does like the
Yeah.
rap shit, but he also sings and kind of getting more into like the indie pop kind of deal. Something that like is
Hey,
more
that's
wide
right up my
verse.
alley right
Going
there.
Yeah,
going a
some
little
more
bit
wide
more.
verse.
Whoa, Kid Leroy. What's
Couple
up?
Yeah.
couple people go that way. Like MGK's gone that way as well. Like more toward the
Yeah.
indie.
He has a song with MGK.
See,
Yeah, they kind of fit in the same alley, but I like Kid Leroy a lot more than MGK. But
Yeah, I'm with you there.
yeah.
I concur.
Yeah, he was supposed to drop an album early this year, and then he kind of pushed it back a while. He has one song on there. It's all about Juice WRLD. It's called "Where Does Your Spirit Go?"
Okay.
It's a super cool song. If nobody's heard that, go check it out.
Yeah, 'cause
if
he
you're a Juice
probably-
WRLD fan.
I haven't heard him talk about it much, like on air about.
Yeah, he was really
the
close
relationship,
with Juice.
yeah,
he was really
they were-
close with Juice.
That was his
Put it in
favorite
a
artist,
song.
like his main influence essentially,
Yeah.
and then
And don't quote me on this, but I believe Kid Leroy was on the plane. I
Wow.
believe Kid Leroy was
Yeah.
on the plane when the whole thing with Juice went down.
That is crazy.
And
man.
if he wasn't,
wonder-
he's affiliated with all the
wonder-
people that were on the plane so close.
That is crazy. I wonder how you navigate that, because I mean, it doesn't outwardly seem like the Kid Leroy is like a drug user, like
Yeah.
Juice WRLD was.
Yeah,
Like Juice WRLD obviously had demons he was battling with
for sure.
with drugs, but navigating that as a kid, because I mean he was 14, 15,
Yeah.
16.
Which is kind of crazy because I grew up kind of around that shit. I was never like really obviously on Juice WRLD's level of taking shit.
Yeah, when you got that
but
kind of money, it's.
I
like
definitely had some close
accessibility.
friends. One friend that we had growing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Peace out to the homie. Rest in peace to
Yeah.
him. But yeah, I definitely know how it is like going through losing somebody, and also kind of like losing the like feel to want to make music.
Mhm.
So doing that
Mm-hmm.
and going through that shit. So it's a fine line that you gotta walk. But yeah, he's been doing good, and I'm proud of him for not kind of falling into the abyss as Juice WRLD would say.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't think you can be doing stadium like arena tours and
100%.
be fucking taking a lot of drugs and shit. I mean,
I have that question about many artists. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But then I'm also like,
then you hear
it
the
has to be.
stories and you
Yeah.
see them and you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
and
well,
then
for example, like look at all the old like 80s hair bands and
Yeah,
shit,
true.
like Motley Crue and all those guys. Like
It's just built
those
different,
guys,
man.
those
They're
guys are
built different.
definitely built
Seriously.
different.
Yeah.
And like you gotta take into account being on the road doing all those shows and shit. It's so stressful. You kind of need something to take off the
Some
edge
sort of
every once in a
release,
while.
yeah. I guess that's where they get that sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of saying
Yeah.
comes from, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my fifth artist.
Hell
He,
yeah, that's a
And
good one.
that
That's a good one.
yeah.
that leads perfectly into mine because we're
Okay.
talking about drug talk and
Okay.
the one of the best cocaine rappers to live currently.
Okay.
My fifth artist was Freddie Gibbs.
Ooh, his show was amazing.
Ooh.
Yes, that show was crazy. But I enjoy Freddie a lot. I think he's one of the hardest rappers out as far as like
Real gangster rapper.
yeah, exactly, like real gangster
Yeah,
rapper. Like
yeah.
he has that song with Pusha T and on his new album Sold Separately, and Pusha even ends his verse, he's like, I've never believed anybody from what they're saying except Gibbs. Like, dude, you know for a fact if Pusha T, the
man.
cocaine rapper, I'd say Pusha T is like the best
Uh-huh.
at painting pictures as far as like fucking cutting off doors, stuffing bricks into doors and refabricating it to drive them and whatnot. Like all those stories that those guys rap about and tell. I believe that shit 100%.
You know
And
what?
Freddie's an example of that. Like I believe every word that he says when he's fucking spitting on a microphone. Like,
100%.
yeah.
The way that he just kind of like took the acapella to a whole new level with the
Oh,
shows,
yeah,
that
yeah.
also showed me I was like, this man knows what he's talking about.
Did we tell you about that at the
Oh
Freddie
yeah,
show?
I heard
Dude,
all about it, man. I heard it from multiple people, dude. How
50% of it was like acapella. And then I was surprised by how many Freddie fans actually live in Boise, because then he would be halfway through a line, then he'd stick the microphone out, and half the crowd knew exactly what line next. Like, I was extremely surprised by
It's
how many
hard for me
Freddie
to
fans
think
we
of
have in
another
Boise.
artist that's been able to do that in Boise with that kind of fan following.
I think it's cool too when people like Freddie Gibbs roll through Boise. I always gain respect for an artist when they come through Boise because it's our hometown, but also because it's underestimated.
It's not a Salt Lake. It's not a Portland. It's
exactly.
not a Seattle.
We
it's
got
not
small venues.
yeah, very small venues.
Intimate shows, but I think I've always, not always, there's definitely been shows where there hasn't been the right energy, but when it's an artist like Freddie Gibbs that has a lot of respect and a lot of fans,
Yeah.
he
brought that
it's
energy
translated
too.
well. It's translated well to the stage, I think. So
Oh yeah.
that's always cool. One thing I was gonna say about Freddie Gibbs is he's an amazing feature artist too, man.
Oh yeah.
Like
Kills
songs,
every feature.
Songs that he's featured on. He's got that song with Flume. Have you heard that?
Oh yeah.
The EDM
I know which
song?
one you're
Dude,
talking
it's
about.
so
Yeah.
sick. And then he also has this song with this artist Joyce Wright.
I know which one you're talking about there too.
You know how to keep me going.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, and his verse on that is so good. Sometimes I had to tell a lie to keep my bitch. It's so hard, like,
just the realest shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
every
so
word
good
that
shit.
dude says, I believe, and
Yeah.
that's why I listen to him so much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially also, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit because he's a little bit further up on my list, but just a specific producer that he works with has worked with in the past,
Hey,
or
teaser.
several artists, several producers that he's worked with. One that didn't make my top 5, Kenny Beats. Obviously, that Freddie album from back in the day that was 90% produced by him is fucking. Those were also the highest quality sounding songs at the show. Anytime that any of those Freddie songs that came in, dude, the bass in that venue, just crazy.
Sick,
it went insane. Yeah, it was dope.
Freddie's really it's also sick too because he's one of those artists that got famous when he was a bit older.
Yeah,
So it gives
he's
you
been
hope.
around. He's
You
been
know,
around
it's
for
like,
20.
yeah.
He's been around for 20 years.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you can do this whenever, man. Like,
Yeah.
your shit.
Dude,
If you're making good shit, it'll pop.
I'll say the same thing about like Killer Mike and LP, like Run the Jewels. Those guys did their thing, but didn't blow up huge until like later on in their career. They're both like in their 30s, approaching 40 now, and they're doing their thing.
Too. That really popped this year, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's been
Yeah.
in the game forever.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll save it, we'll save it.
Yeah. That same person I just referenced
I love
earlier
you,
about a producer. Anyway, we'll move on to Louie's fourth here.
Yeah. Okay. So my fourth, back in the non rap lane. It's funny. So I love rap music. I make rap music. 2 of my top artists are rappers, but
I would say you have
I have
a
an
little
eclectic
bit.
music taste.
Yeah.
I listen to everything, and this artist this year blew me away. Not a new artist by any means. Not a new artist. Has been around for a super long time apparently. would have never popped on my radar if it wasn't for this dude, Jonas Hedlund.
Jonas
from
Hedlund?
Sweden. He's
Jonas
this Instagram.
Hedlund, okay.
He just has a random Instagram page and where he cooks food in a goofy way. But
One of the songs that he
one of
like
the
put on his
songs that he
videos.
featured on his video, I was like, yo, this is captivating music. And the song is called here we go. Tva likte dar.
Oh, gosh.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
My Swedish is on point, dude. But yeah, so the artist is Lisa Ekdahl, who is a Swedish jazz singer, bossa nova singer. And her voice is so sultry, so sexy. Just amazing. And she makes these she's currently making music, and she popped on the scene in 96, 98.
Okay.
With some like really, really cool jazz music in Swedish, but it's like, dude, it sticks in your head.
Have you looked at any lyrics on that at all, or translations?
Yes. So there's this song called Vem Vi or Vem Vet, and so it translates super well into English. She sings it in Swedish, obviously, but the whole thing, it's just this little like love song, and it's like, who knows if we were supposed to meet? Who knows if we were never supposed to meet?
Mm-hmm.
But we've met, and like, Vem Vi just means who knows. It's like who knows.
Gotcha.
Vem Vi, Vem Vi. But it's so groovy, dude. And then she also does a lot of albums in English as well. She's got this album. It's something for Salvador Poe, I guess, who was her husband at some point in her life. But that is chock full of beautiful songs, and I listen to that album a ton. And yeah, I've never really got the jazz bug, but this year, she put me on it. I started listening to all sorts of like French cafe jazz playlist on Spotify. Like,
Hey, there's a time and
just
place for
diving
everything,
deep.
dude.
Yeah,
it's
so,
nice to listen to that type of shit too,
Yeah.
because it like expands
yeah.
your musical mind of what you even like think of when you're doing music yourself.
And jazz is like the most creative genre, I believe. Like with
Yeah,
with polyrhythms, as far as drums go,
Uh-huh.
solos,
1 2 1
like,
2 1 2 3
different,
4, 1
yeah,
2 3 4.
yeah, different people will take different chances to solo throughout a song and whatnot. Like that takes like real musical talent to
For real.
like understand, like, all right, this person's about to finish a solo, this is this bar here, okay, now I can kind of go in with this little extra bass thing, we're in this key, like, yeah.
There's something about
I am not a musician, as far as like I make
just
beats.
guess.
I make beats, but I just do it off my ear. Like,
You know everything that
I got
goes
that
into
Rick
music,
Rubin
though.
kind of thing going
Hey,
on, where
which
I just trust
his
my
talent.
ear, and
Yeah.
I know how to pluck and play a little piano here and there.
Yeah.
But as far as music theory goes,
it's
out of
crazy.
my league. That's where I respect those jazz artists, because
For
I'm just
real.
like, these guys
100%.
are real musicians. Like, they know what the
Mhm.
fuck they're doing.
Yeah, so Lisa Ekdahl, I love you.
Shout out.
If you're gonna listen to one Lisa Ekdahl song, I would go with Vem Vi. It's just VEMVEEVET.
Van Viet.
Vem Vi. Yeah, and it'll just open the door to a world of wonderful music that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
All right, Luddy.
Cool.
You got your fourth
my
artist?
fourth artist was, his name's Kevin Powers. You probably heard him. He's coming up. He's been a lot more popular this year. He started making music in like 2022, and oddly enough, I mean, Kid Laroi, I mean, I guess it's not that odd, but he kind of has like the same, like, if you think of Kid Laroi's like popular, more upbeat songs, like his voice is very similar to Kid Laroi's, and the way that he like talks about the shit that he talks about, very similar to some of Kid Laroi's shit. And that's kind of the reason why, like, just the way that he sounds and his voice, it kind of just drew me in, because I was like, dude, this guy sounds so much like Kid Laroi, but like, it's a little bit different. But yeah, he started making music in 2022 for the most part, and then he kind of blew up end of 2022, start of 2023. But yeah, no, he's someone who only drops singles. He hasn't dropped an album yet. So yeah, he's really
I
just,
mean, the consistency of singles as far as a start goes is probably
Exactly.
the way to go. you know?
exactly 100%. Yeah.
I read his little. You sent us a song by him, and I read his little bio. It said he was from Boston.
Yep.
I think.
He looks like he's from Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's actually like, I don't know if you guys watch any videos of him or anything, but he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Dang.
But he doesn't sound like he's 6'4", 6'5". So a lot of people are super surprised to see that. But no,
he's a tall dude. He's
Yeah.
he's no Young Gravy though.
He's a really big he's
Young Gravy's like
definitely no
6'7",
Young
dude. You ever see
No,
videos of
yeah.
him standing next to people? You're like, God damn. No wonder he gets so much pussy.
Him fitting in that Tesla.
It's that fucking dude, that voice too.
Seriously, dude.
But yeah, no, Kevin Powers. That's somebody I haven't really delved
Sure,
into
same.
too much. That's not particularly like Kid Leroy. Kevin Powers is not necessarily my sound all the time.
Yeah.
But I can respect and find, especially if y'all are trying to go for that sound, like I would like to listen to that kind of thing and figure out,
sure.
try to manipulate your guys' vocals as far as that goes to kind of match that sound. So
Yeah, one of my biggest things too is the people I listen to. I'm the type of person, I love to sing to my music. So I like to have a lot of different types of artists to literally just sing to their songs.
Yeah.
And then it also just gets me better at each kind of genre that I'm trying to do and be more diverse when I make music.
yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
I thought at first when you sent that song, I thought it was Kevin Abstract, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
You're like, alright.
I was thinking,
You're like, okay, okay.
what's
Kinda surprised me. I was like, "Damn."
when I initially saw it, I thought I confused him with Kenny Mason for a second.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, Kevin Powers, Kenny Mason. I was like, and then I
Yeah.
listened to it and I was like, oh, that's not even
Dude,
close.
you hear the new super quick Facts? Have you heard Facts by Kenny Mason?
Mm-mm.
Dude,
I don't think I
I'll
have
have
yet.
to show you that after this.
Okay,
Super
Fuck yeah.
good.
All right.
All right, number 4, Sherm.
My number 4 is Domogenesis.
Ooh,
Ooh,
kind of
Genesis is so fire.
I mean, yeah,
Like this?
kind of throwback, but I've been
It's back
ever
with, like, Odd
since.
Future.
Yeah, exactly. I was like 14. Obviously, the
I love
height of
that
Odd
shit.
Future. Always have loved Tyler. Always have loved Earl. But
Yep.
Domo's been like the black sheep in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
works again with my he's my second most listened artist. Yeah, so we'll
Yeah.
still once again moving
We'll
up the
get there.
list. But yeah,
For sure.
Damo works with Al and fucking like. I don't know, his lyrical ability is pretty incredible. I really dig how he just like stumbles on these boom bap beats and stays true to that like original hip hop sound, but still kind of is pushing boundaries as far as like
Yep.
as far as sound goes. No, I've listened to Damo my entire life, and I will continue to as well. He's just one of my favorite artists right now.
That's sick, man.
Actually of all time. I shouldn't say right now, but
I
yeah.
gotta get back on that. I vividly, I'm sure I still know every word to his oldie, to that oldie.
His oldie verse. Yeah,
And then-
absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then
Yeah.
his verse on Earl's album too, Doris.
Mm-hmm.
Doris is one of my favorite.
Doris is a great album. I would say my favorite song off the top of my head would either be one of two. It's Me Versus Me, because I have that same tendency. It's like constantly in a battle with myself. Or One Punch Man, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anime.
Which he has that one punch, or he has a fucking a line in it where he says one punch leave your town vanquished, which is pretty hilarious because in
Yeah.
that anime, like literally just one punch would just completely destroy a whole city. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
music with me, I love going back to the music I listen to at certain times in my life, because no matter
the nostalgia factor,
no
the
matter how
whole-
much new music he'll come out with, it's always gonna remind me of being a teenager watching literally Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, their Adult Swim show was crazy.
yeah,
Loiter
no,
Squad.
yeah,
Loiter
Loiter Squad.
Squad?
Loiter Squad was sick.
That changed my
And
perception.
now
on
that dude Lionel, he's like a actual actor. He's on
Yeah,
that show.
he's on The Bear.
The
Yep.
Bear's
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah,
dude, Lionel always cracks me up.
Yeah, it's crazy how that group actually flourished. Like you see so many groups where you got one or two people popping out.
yeah,
Dude,
but
But even like Damo, who's I mean, his longevity is obviously like
Yeah.
accredited at this point,
Yeah.
but he's like
I don't feel like
fourth
he's
or fifth deep in
Yeah.
that roster of fame. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah, dude, I
Which is
remember when
crazy.
Earl didn't even rap. I remember
For a
when,
while,
like,
yeah.
Earl started rapping, and Tyler's like, "Oh yeah, this shit."
yeah.
He's like, "Dude, this shit's hard."
That's
Earl's like,
crazy.
"Really? I don't really
And I
see
mean, it was
it."
Frank Ocean first.
Yeah,
It's like,
Dude. Frank's a legend.
Yeah.
Shout out to Frank.
But yeah, no, like like you were saying something about the longevity. He may not be the most popular artist, but he has that core set of fans that will always hold him together. So yeah, I'm one of those core people.
Yeah.
Always, I'll always listen to a Damo
100%,
project.
Yeah, and I think Earl fans go well. Like anyone who's an Earl fan should probably be a Damo fan.
Yeah, exactly. I
Like,
mean, and then
they go along,
Tyler creates this new
Yeah.
this new form of these newer albums that he's been coming out with, like with people that are new listeners to Tyler go back to his old stuff and see the features that he's on and whatnot.
Sometimes
Like
it's hard
they
to
can
go back
you,
to Tyler's old stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
well, if you're
Gotta be
talking
in a-
back,
gotta be in a
we're
mood.
talking back. If you're
Tyler,
talking
what
like
you doing?
Bastard Goblin, like
Oh, dude.
I'm talking like
Yeah.
Wolf forward, like Wolf forward. Everything after Wolf, like everything started his evolution as an artist was crazy.
It
But
is pretty crazy.
anyway, your
So,
all right, on to
third
number
artist
3.
there.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay, so this artist is one that I kind of associate with like my journey on Spotify, which is kind of funny. So I found.
I
found
knew
one of their songs-
I knew these guys
Yeah,
were coming
you
up.
knew it.
I knew
Yeah.
these guys were coming up because you were super obsessed with them
Oh,
this summer, dude.
Yeah, I'm still obsessed with them. They're
Yeah.
so good. But
They got a funny name too. I like it.
yeah. But the song Marathon was like just one of the first tracks that I remember finding on Spotify and being like, oh, this is my discovery. Like,
Yeah.
And it was one of the first songs that I had on playlists way back in the day. And this band is called Tennis. They are beautiful, dude. It's this husband and wife couple. They've got a band now, but it started as just a husband and wife, and they recorded their first album on their honeymoon on a sailboat. I'm pretty sure, just sailing like the West Indies or some crazy shit like that, bro. Like just fucking dream life.
Talk about
What a
dream
beautiful-
honeymoon.
Oh, dude.
What a beautiful way to
So
spend your
sick. And it's
honeymoon,
this,
just
like,
making
right?
music.
It's like this surf pop rock album, but like with a modern twist, and it's so cool. And you can tell it's like super low budget, like recorded just.
Well, if you're recording it on a
On a
sail,
pop,
yeah, if
literally.
you're recording it
Yeah.
on a sailboat, I doubt
Dude,
that there's
it's
like
crazy.
a
It's
professional
crazy.
setup on that.
Yeah.
And so they came to Boise this year in April.
nice.
And I hadn't listened to Tennis in a long time. I just had that one song Marathon on my playlist, and I was like, I'd always kind of been planning on revisiting their music and just seeing if it was something that I was into. And then saw they're coming to Boise. Couple chicks that I knew were going, and I was like, well, sounds like a good time. Count me in. And yeah, man, started studying their repertoire. Got all their albums, and dude, they have so many good songs. It's like this, it's this light kind of pop rock sound that I kind of had to acclimate to. I'm not gonna lie, I had to listen to the songs like quite a few times before it really hit me in my soul where it counts.
Where you felt it,
Yeah. But once you kind of get that ear for it and you tune in, dude, like it is awesome music. And Tennis just does it so well. Their show is so fun. She's got this beautiful voice again. That's just it reminds you of the ocean. Honestly, like there's no other way to put it. It's like it's just awesome, dude. It's awesome. Yeah. So there's some good songs for sure. So they did drop an album this year, called Pollen. I believe that's what it's called. And the lead song off of that, or the title song off of that, Pollen, is phenomenal. It's this song about allergies. And it's literally so goofy, but it's so good.
Dude.
And then there's a song called One Night with the Valet as well. That I would say if you're gonna jump into Tennis, start with One Night with the Valet or Marathon, and go from there. Cause man, yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. And if they're in your town playing a show, guarantee it's gonna be at a small venue where you can show up early, get super close. I touched her hand, dude. Gave her a high
Ooh,
five.
those are the best.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome,
Those are the best
dude.
venues.
Awesome.
I
It's so
touched
fun.
her.
So fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's my third.
Where did they play when you saw them?
Knitting Factory?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Knitting
Okay.
Factory.
Not-
I was thinking more like
Shredder.
when you said it was more of like small and personal. I was thinking more like Neurolux Olympic
Dude,
or
okay, so funny thing about me, if there's a show at the Knitting Factory, I'm the first person in line. I go solo. I stand there in line, wait till the doors open, and then I walk up to the front and I stand there the whole
That's
time.
sick.
Just because, dude, I want the
Yeah.
best. Like, I'm like, dude, it's the knit. Like, it's super close to my house. I can I can have front row, so I'm going to have front row.
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
like, why not?
Why
You know what
not,
I mean?
dude?
So that's me. But
Right on.
yep.
All right.
That's sick though. Yeah. Before I get into my third one, I just want to say like those kind of artists, like you could literally give them anything. Like they're the type of artists you could literally give them anything, just a random computer. They'll find a software, they'll make it happen.
Yeah, they'll figure
like,
it out.
Like
Yeah.
Musicians.
Musicians,
exactly,
yeah,
more of a
they're
musician.
crazy.
Do it all. But yeah, okay. So my third artist, seen him live. His name's Xavier Wolf. He's
Mhm.
always
Xavier Wolf is
he's
dope.
always been somebody
Ooh,
that
that's a good one.
he gets me in that mood to just go. Like, doesn't matter if I'm cleaning my house. It doesn't matter if I'm leaving the crib to go work out. It doesn't matter if I'm literally grocery shopping and I just got one AirPod in.
Just
like,
hype.
Literally, if I just need a little something, Xavier Wolf's always, and he has a little bit of everything too. Like he's got some slow shit, he's got some hard shit, but yeah,
his cadence and delivery is just so dope.
he will
bro.
forever be one of my favorite MCs. Like
Yeah.
he's made the sound for himself,
Yeah.
and he's never not gonna be Xavier Wolf. Like
Him and Ramirez kind of sound really similar.
yeah, I can see that for
Juan
For
came
sure.
up to me the other day and he's like, dude, have you heard this song? It was the Kid Cudi remix by Xavier Wolf.
Oh,
and
yeah,
immediately as that came on, I was like, kind of sounds like Ramirez, but
Yeah.
dude, it's dope. Like,
Xavier Wolf has some Boise ties too.
Yeah, I saw him
Yeah.
in Boise, dude.
Well, dude, do
He
you
has
know the
ties.
homie Will Luck or Will Lichtenstein?
I do. Yeah, I've actually. Yeah.
So Will,
I went to high school with Will.
Awesome. Yeah. He makes awesome screen printed tees.
Yup. He makes the jeans.
The hats.
He makes
So in Xavier Wolf's music video, Jack Wolf Sparrow. Have you seen that
I
music
remember.
video?
I rember you telling me this.
Dude, so he's
Yeah.
wearing one of Will's shirts. So him and Will DM back and forth, and it's crazy because Will is a testament to your online presence doesn't necessarily translate into how impactful you are,
Yeah.
dude. So I see his stuff all around Boise,
Yup.
man, and it's because it's sold at 3P Vintage, and people buy it because it's sick
It's
stuff.
dope as fuck.
And
yeah.
so I'll see him around, and I just assume that they know Will. And I'm like, hey, do you know Will? And they're like, no, I got this at 3P.
Dude,
And
funny
I'm like,
story
damn,
with
that's
Will,
crazy.
dude. I was actually with him when he got his first print, and I watched him. He was just printing on these like
He's a
random
madman, bro.
jeans, bro. Just taking different
Yeah, he's
prints and
sick.
just
I
making
love that
shit.
kid.
Super cool. I actually
Oh,
took him and I split a 250 tincture that same day, and I got cooked. I got so cooked. I was just like, all right, dude.
yeah, those things are strong as hell,
But-
dude.
Yeah, I watched
Yeah,
all
he had an
puke on
affiliation.
me.
Yeah, I'm
dude.
sure, dude.
Yeah,
like,
so
bro,
he used
what
to
do you
do like music production back in the day.
Did he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had an
that's
affiliation
sick.
with Isaiah Rashad's
Really?
music group back in the
That's
day.
legit, man.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
Will's got crazy connections, man. But yeah, him
Yeah.
and Xavier Wolf are actually, I think, kind of tight.
Which is tight.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Xavier Wolf's show was sick. I did go to that
dude,
show.
and the funny part is like I've met so many people since that show that I've actually become good friends with that I didn't know at the time. I knew them as mutual friends,
Really?
but now they've become actual friends. So
Oh,
like
that's cool.
I love going to shows in Boise because you'll just run into people you're supposed
It's
to
a lot
know.
of the same group that goes to a
Yeah.
lot of the same shows.
Yeah.
Like,
There's countless people that I know, and it's like, oh, who do you listen to? Oh, you listen to them? Were you at the show? Oh, you were? Dude,
Yeah,
you know? But
dude, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a good one. Yeah, I'll have Xavier Wolf songs come up when I'm running, and it's just like,
those
a
get
perfect,
you
like-
going.
yeah, go hard, like. Let me take a good hit. let me
yeah,
take a
wake up a little groggy, don't have the motivation,
Xavier
throw on
Wolf's
some
dope, yeah.
Xavier Wolf, and you're ready for the day. You're going.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, that's a good one. All right, Sharon, what's your 3?
YG Tut.
Woo, I love YG Tut.
Yeah.
Sharon put me on to YG Tut heavy this year.
Yep, exactly. I discovered him through Isaiah Rashad. They're both from Chattanooga. So he released an album last year called shit, why does it escape me? Anyway, something about In My Mind, but that goes back to what Louie was saying about his first artist. The ability to put together an entire piece of work, like top to bottom, every song you can listen to, the flow of the album is perfect. Like,
It's rare nowadays.
yeah, exactly. That's where I listened to that project, and that just like took over my entire listening time for a couple of months. So yeah, I really respect that guy. He can do a lot. I don't know too much about him personally. Like, I haven't done a whole lot of diving in on
Dude.
him, but
His dad's a pastor, believe it or not.
yeah,
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense. I mean, if you've got like speaking to large audiences, you
Yep.
know,
Mhm.
jeans, It's kind of that performance art in a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Spreading the
down.
message.
Yeah.
But yeah, his voice, I love his voice, that like deep that deep baritone that he's got in his voice, like the delivery he comes up.
Selection's always crazy too.
Yeah, different
Exactly.
mixes of like southern.
Yeah, he's got
like
a great delivery, great cadence, pretty unique flow on some of these songs that I haven't heard before, and I'm just like, all right, this guy's like pushing the sound. He's really pushing himself to like not putting him on the same level as J. Cole, but like the way that he pushes himself to create a new cadence or flow in his music is J. Cole-esque.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't relate him to Mac Miller at all.
Right.
But he has the same kind of creative flow where he just like scratches everything and he comes into it with a brand new. He's like, okay, that's done. How am I gonna do this differently?
Yeah.
And it's like you never know what you're gonna get. From
Exactly.
YG Tut.
Exactly. It's all rap music, but and then that was one of your top 3 songs this year too. Was I don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
That song's fucking great.
And I've been sleeping. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't listened to
He's
So
so
I've
good.
known about YG Tut, and actually the first person I ever started making music with, he was a really big YG Tut guy. And I've always listened to YG Tut, but I'm not gonna lie, I forgot about him for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Sherm totally reminded me of him.
Well,
And
there
I
was
like,
a large gap. There was a large gap where he didn't release music for like a good 3 or 4 years. So,
See,
and then this year the last like year and a half, he's released 3 projects, like whether it be an EP,
he's been
a
putting in
full
work.
concept album, and then the last one I didn't listen to a whole lot, but his newest one he released this year is like, it's great. It's great music.
Dude, it's fire. Yeah.
All right, number 2 for you, Lou.
Oh, number 2 is an artist I've spent entirely too much time with.
Yourself.
Literally me, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I love that
gosh.
though. You gotta appreciate your own.
That's how
music.
Trey,
You
dude.
know,
Trey,
it's fun.
Trey's number 1 artist this year was himself.
It was himself. See, I'm glad. I'm glad I wasn't my own number 1 artist.
Yeah.
That happened to me
I'm
last year, and
top
I was
one.
like, I was
You're
very
the top
embarrassed
1% listener.
Yeah,
top
1%
0.1% listener of myself.
But also, my favorite rapper of all time. you know,
Myself.
the GOAT. The GOAT. Give myself
If
a
you
little
if you
credit
don't
here.
know, Louie C on Spotify and
don't
Apple
know,
Music.
Go check
This-
it out.
This artist has released, 4? I think I've released 4.
Embers in the Night, Sun in the East.
Yeah, 4 EPs.
The Mission and Overdo It.
Yep, 3 of them with Sherm right here. Sherm has been. I mean, Sherm is Louie C. I've got the name Louie C, but like, dude, it's 50% if not more Shermata. So.
Sherm's music knowledge. You walk into the studio.
It's crazy, man. He's got all the
And-
equipment, bro. Like, he's just like
like-
I wouldn't be anything without Sherm.
I've made songs and I've made music without Sherm, and I've made music with Sherm. And it's like Sherm isn't actually doing the vocals, but you got somebody else there that is just throwing ideas
It's a
out,
guiding hand.
tell you
yeah.
exactly how he thinks it'll sound and how it should sound,
And
and
a fucking an old head rap fan, dude.
100%.
Yeah,
His
absolutely.
music knowledge is out of
Absolutely.
Like,
this
this
world.
man listens to
I
rap
am-
like nobody I know. So
It's I got called a purist, and I would say I am a purist. I do
Dude,
dive
you're an
into
old head. I think you're kind of an old head.
yeah, I
Like-
am.
like not in the sense
Dude.
of like you only listen to like NWA or
Dude,
something,
I
bro.
used-
But like,
I used to though.
Yeah.
There was a good point where like friends of mine would try to show me Migos or Future songs, and I was
Yeah.
just like, dude, this isn't rap. This isn't rap.
I
Fuck
know
all
when-
this,
I
bro.
know when him
Have you ever heard of
and Chris-
Apathy? Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
Chris Webby? These are fucking rappers. And now like I have turned a new leaf where like I can appreciate all.
You can appreciate
Especially I've hit this production point where like I can respect so many different types of music or so much different types of music now where I'm just like, how did they produce this? This shit sounds so crazy, but
Yeah, you hear shit that
Hey.
people don't.
well, if you guys wouldn't mind letting me talk about myself.
yeah, no, you go for it. Yeah, let's stop talking about Sherm and
The
talk
stage
about
is
Louie C
yours.
here because that's your
Okay,
artist,
so,
right?
So I'm proud to be making music that I actually like to listen to. Legit. I mean,
Yeah.
every time one of my songs comes on, I'm never like, skip this shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's shit that I genuinely enjoy listening to. Obviously, I love making it. Our most recent project, Overdo It,
Mm-hmm.
has a song on it, Difficult, that stands out to me
That's
as
usually
one of
my
my favorite
favorite.
songs.
Yeah.
And then on the project before that, we called it The Mission. And that one has Time's Fleeting and Bow to Blow.
Those are not produced.
No,
by me,
actually, yeah,
but
both songs produced by my buddy Travis Winters. who
Shout out.
makes-
Shout out,
yeah,
Travis.
Shout out Travis.
Travi.
Travis is integral.
came from the grave, baby.
Yeah, and all the cover art done by his older brother, Max
Yeah.
Winters.
Ooh,
He's-
Max is an insane artist.
Like, if anything else, just go look at my albums, dude. Like, you don't even need to listen to them. Just go look at them, bro. Because the
Yeah.
cover art is freaking insane.
Yeah,
dog.
Sure makes an
the
appearance.
overdo it one,
Max
dude.
spends-
Max murdered
Dude,
that.
Max
Shit's
spends
crazy.
hours just on cover art that you're gonna see in a 2x2, 1x1
Dude.
inch square on
And the
Spotify.
coolest
It's
part,
so sad, but
I've
it's
seen this.
so good. Dude.
I've seen this man Max's art since
yeah.
I was like 15,
Oh yeah,
and
dude.
it's. I thought it was insane back in the day when I was
It's
15
getting
years old.
so
Give that
much
man
better.
another 10,
It's so
13 years.
crazy.
Shit's insane now.
But anyways, okay, so I commission you to go listen to Louie C, Louie space C period on Spotify.
Not Louis C.K.
Not Louis C.K. You know,
So look,
it's
I've-
my name, dude.
it's been-
It's
it's
my
been-
name.
so look,
it's
it
his
has-
name, but it's also my name.
it has been
so
a little difficult
fuck
for
off.
people to find that. So what
Yeah.
you have to do is you have to type in Louis C and then a title of
Yeah,
an
the
album,
track.
right?
Yeah.
Or a track. So the easiest one that I always try to put people onto is like type in Louis C and then type in The Mission.
The Mission, yeah.
And immediately you can pick that up
Yeah.
and then you just follow the links from there to
Yep.
get to all the rest of it. So
Yep. And we've got new music coming very soon, dude.
all of us do.
We've got 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we have 11 songs. 11 songs almost complete. We're gonna round it out with one more, make it 12. It would be my first full length album. We've only worked on 7-song EPs.
we did the Kanye thing where for the last 3
Yeah.
all we did was 7 and then that's what
Yep.
you and I are working on right now is like a
Yep.
little 7-song EP.
Yep.
So
7's a great number. For some reason, 7 just
seven
like
is
works
great.
super well.
Kanye wasn't lying when if you
Nah.
can't get what you're trying to say out in 7 songs, then
Yeah.
I mean, he's semi right. Like right, you can still push it to 10, 12 and
Mhm.
and make a good album, but
But dude,
7's like real personal. Like
these
you pick
albums-
7 fucking.
yeah, man. We make them so that you can listen to every song. Like there's
20,
there's no
30 minutes.
filler. There's no
Yeah.
filler. Like you can it's projects for when you're driving to the grocery store because you're going to be halfway through the tape by the time you get there and you'll have
The other half to get
the other
out.
half to get
come
back,
home.
man. Like
Yeah.
it's not long. Check it out, please. Like it's good shit. and
Run it up.
We love it. Run it up. Yeah.
Also, same type of length. You're gonna be smoking a fat blunt with the homies. Just throw it on.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
and
20,
then
yeah,
by the time
20
you're done
minutes,
with the
10,
backwood,
15.
it's about
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
over.
Dude, it's all it's a vibe, man. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe for real.
Alrighty.
All right, cool.
Your top 2, number 2.
So I feel like my top 2, my number 2 artist is definitely gonna be one of Sherm's 1 or 2s. The man Larry June himself.
Larry. Good
The
job,
man
Larry.
Larry June himself. See, Larry June's one of those people that I've been listening.
Dude, I
No.
cannot get over that guy. I love that
Yeah. Is he your number 2 or 1?
guy. No, he's
up
actually
there. He's up there.
Yeah, he's up there. That's
up
actually that's a spoiler. So we'll just talk about since it's
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
I
your
was
number
gonna
2.
say.
That's my number
it's his
1.
number one.
Yeah,
Alright,
Larry
cool.
Larry's my number
We'll
1.
make
He's
this
number your
a-
2.
We'll make this a double. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Louis is the one who turned me on to Larry. I'd never even heard
And
of
my
this
little
guy.
brother turned me on to Larry.
Yeah,
Shout
there
out
you
Cliff.
go.
Cliff's
So, yeah.
been on Larry June forever. bro.
back in the day, I was really into positive music for a long period of time. Like I definitely dabble with all types of emotions and music, but one thing I really respect about Larry is he's always just talking about getting better, being better
Always.
being better than who you were yesterday, and
Doing
just going
push-ups
and
in my
getting that
loft.
bag, going and doing shit that you need to do. And Larry's the type of person where I can throw on any album and I'm satisfied. I can throw on
There's
literally
hardly any skips.
any project,
hardly any skips.
hardly any skips, and even the skips, it's kind of like refreshing because like his music's so fucking good.
Yeah.
That sometimes I need a little Larry.
And there's so much of it, man. He's
Yeah.
got
oh, so
Dude,
much
for
of it,
days.
dude.
Yeah.
you could listen to
Clear
Larry
back from
for a week and not hear the same
2016.
song twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 2016 to now, it's like 12 albums or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, this man's on his Gucci Mane shit.
Yeah.
Always coming out
exactly.
like 3
just
a
dropping,
year. 3 a
dropping
year.
constantly. Yeah. The best part about him too is he he says that the only time he records is between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Yep.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I am such a morning person, bro.
Dude,
God,
and
I
that's
feel
why,
that so hard.
like when you listen to his music, knowing that, and you're
Yeah.
like, and he's just that laid
Sipping
back,
that orange
yeah,
juice.
he's just laid back, just
Smoothies
chilling.
in
Like he
1990.
just woke up in the
Sipping
morning,
orange
fucking
juice,
wiped the
count
boogers
money.
out his eyes, like he says.
Yeah.
Fucking steps up to a microphone and just starts rapping
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like that's the only time he records. So
Yeah, and he's an older person too. Like he's just like Freddie Gibbs, like
mid 30s
yeah.
ish. Yeah.
Like
And
he's
and it feels like this year is the year they like blew up.
really coming together.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
weird because obviously he's been in the game forever. Had a
Dude,
following
he's been in the
forever,
game for so long. He was handing out CDs back before streaming was a thing.
Mhm.
Like,
Selling orange juice out the back of the
Yep.
Porsche, dude.
Mhm.
and he's one of those contemporary artists that no matter what happens in the game, he's gonna adjust to it and he's going to still move with it.
Yep.
It's that lazy flow, dude. I'm telling you. It's just
Yeah.
like talking
owns
about
that
talking
shit.
about life shit. It's like it's a beautiful day. I might ride my bike. Like,
Yep.
It's-
dude,
he
that
owns
life
that
shit that he
It's
raps
that-
about
It's
is
that Ice Cube. It's a good day. Type
Yeah,
shit.
always,
It's
constantly.
super West Coast too, man. Super West Coast.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
San
obviously
Fran, baby.
Bay Area, but like
yeah,
very West Coast vibes and
yeah.
Hardly any bullshit lyrics either.
No.
Like it's
No.
all shit that you're like, you don't feel like you're getting dumber listening to him. You
No.
feel like you're getting smarter.
dude, the art of ad libs. That man has it down.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
That's something I've been getting better at genuinely. as an
Try
artist,
like
but it's
pushing
so-
pushing yourself
it's
to do
so
it.
underrated how hard that is.
Ad-lib,
Also,
ad-libs
ad-libs are
are
so
ad-lib
hard.
game is a underrated thing.
It's
like
it's difficult to find an ad lib that's your own,
Dude, he
Mhm.
branded himself with his ad libs.
and that's the thing.
like,
Dude, like
it's an
people
insanely
know Larry
smart.
June because it's good job, Larry.
Number-
I can't
numbers.
even do it. Yeah, numbers.
numbers. Good job, Larry.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, we
hey,
can sit
hey,
here doing
hey.
Larry June ad libs. That'd be the whole podcast.
Yeah, straight up.
It's like-
It's just like, dude,
Like, oh, that was probably really loud. Sorry, y'all.
no, but yeah, if you can think of an artist and then automatically think of what makes him him,
yeah.
that's
like
a great
it's
brand.
like
That's
Migos,
it.
like,
It's like Migos,
Mama
too.
and all that,
Exactly,
like all
yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's cool, man. Yeah, Larry.
So,
June.
yeah,
Well, you stole
that's my
the
number
thunder
two.
on my number one. So.
Yeah, do you want
No,
to?
that's
I
just
mean,
like-
dude, talk about how he's impacted.
Just for the record, Sherm is a bigger Larry June fan.
Oh,
than
100%.
Dude,
See,
man.
here's the thing. I don't have like in my Spotify Wrapped. I didn't have many. I had Larry June songs that were up there, but I didn't have many Larry June songs that were like I listened to on repeat. I like his projects that I listen to more, and
Yeah.
that's kind of the vibe that I go for.
Yeah, I have like a lot
obviously,
of individual
89
songs that I
Earthquake was-
amazing.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm not gonna.
That
say
no, that'll lead into my second one
Yeah.
actually, because
Yeah.
you were talking about this year, Larry really blowing up. Is like I feel like Al had something to do with that a lot.
The
My
Al,
my
dude.
number two artist was The Alchemist. I
Yeah.
listened to a lot of his stuff. That's like
Sure
Louie
put me on
mentioned
that
earlier, being that old '90s head that I am. Like
Mhm.
Al's been in the game for so long,
Mhm.
and he's still traditionally just constantly ripping vinyl.
Yeah.
He talks about traveling to different countries, finding vinyl that like you can only find here and there in certain spots,
Yeah.
and then he's just taking even just a 2-second snippet and throwing it on repeat. And so yeah, that Great Escape album, Larry June Alchemist, is amazing. I mentioned him earlier. Freddie's worked with Alchemist. They got a Fetty project, or he's got Fetty with Currency Freddie.
Tomo.
Damo's got 2-3 projects with
Yeah.
Alchemist. Like
Yeah.
amazing producer. He's really taken off this year as well. Like this has been his
And he
fucking year
rapped
as well.
this year, man.
Yeah, I mean
I
he's
mean,
been
he
he's
raps.
been rapping like
But that song with Hit Boy,
yes,
Dude,
that song
dude.
goes
That
crazy.
yeah, when they go back and
song's
forth.
wild.
Hit Boy calls out everyone.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Straight up, he's just sending shots. the
I want them
entire-
all laid out, extra leg room or whatever he says. Like dude,
but
that
Al kills that shit.
he does.
Yeah.
Alchemist over Hit Boy beat, Hit Boy over and Alchemist beat. Let's go.
Dude, those videos are so fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Larry June too. Like he is a perfect example of an ecosystem that he feeds the people with music. He also is so smart that he gives people like real new music using old shit that has been around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also has that fan base that's so core. He gives the people what they want. They buy his merch. They come to the shows, and it's a perfect ecosystem of
Mhm.
his brand that he's made for himself.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Just like Larry June.
Yep.
Alchemist, I mean, you can credit Alchemist with the revitalization of people's careers too.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
100%.
And
Bold,
like-
like Boldy James, I feel like
Boldy for sure.
Yeah.
Alk has done so much for Boldy. Him and Boldy are like this.
Yeah.
He works with Earl, who we mentioned before.
Mhm.
He's worked a lot with Earl. Like Currency, he's got full
Mhm.
project with Currency. So yeah,
And it's
Alchemist
really
is
just
like
a man who's passionate about
Yeah, yeah.
about making beats.
yeah, exactly.
Like
And
That's why I literally see you. As
it's the
Al,
simplicity of
Dude,
it too.
no, I was gonna say
You're the boy.
Sherm's got a lot of.
I mean,
No,
like think about it, bro.
Sherm's
Yeah.
got a lot of alk.
I mean, if you
outcome.
haven't, you've worked with so many freaking rappers in Boise,
Dude,
and like,
Yeah.
Sherm's the hardest working producer that I've ever met. The one that
bro, he just
he
loves
makes
it.
the
He
most
just
time
does
for it
'cause he loves
because he loves it.
Exactly.
But that's what it takes, dude.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
I've drawn influence from him because of the simplicity of his production. It's like there's a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, and that's not doing much.
No,
There's
yeah.
not much going on there. It's just the textures that he uses and stuff. Like
yeah.
that's where I've learned a lot from him, and as far as like music goes, is like textures are a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Your kick drum can be like a little distorted, but that creates character within it. There's like a little bit of white
Yeah.
noise from ripping a vinyl, like that, or like the crackle of a vinyl that creates texture and ear candy is what
Yeah,
I call it. That's like
100%.
the
That's
best.
why-
That's the best way I can describe
That's
it.
why him and Kenny Beats are so important to the culture.
Yeah.
Because it's like they show you that, dude, you get better by doing it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you just have fun with it, man. Like
Yeah.
if
You're
it's
not the
something
same
that you
producer.
love,
Like month to month, you're not the same
no,
producer.
you're not the
It's
same
like
producer.
You got
And there's
different
tips and tricks to
influences.
make the most simple beat stand out from the rest.
Yeah.
Working
Exactly.
smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of it's just looped. It's just an 8-bar loop, and then every once in a while he'll throw
A
like
different drum pattern in there.
yeah, or it's like the little ear candy thing that I mentioned earlier, where he'll throw like one little sound bite of a synth that he's created that like transitions this piece to this piece, and it'll only happen one time in the song or twice in the song, where it's just like very subtle little things that help move the track along.
Yeah, just
So-
an extra layer.
I definitely try to, I take a lot of influence from him for sure. Like especially lately, that Great Escape album we mentioned with Larry and Alk, like the simplicity
Dude,
of it,
yeah.
the way that the drums hit, it's just like it's simple stuff to just keep you in the pocket essentially.
Back
So
to Domo Genesis, the Domo Genesis song with Alk.
He got a whole album with
he's
that,
got
right?
he's got a
Yeah.
couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which song specifically do you remember?
I'd have to look it up real
Yeah,
quick.
it's
but-
no biggie.
Good. So
We'll go on to
yeah, we can go on.
we'll go on to Future here.
Future.
That's Louie's favorite artist.
God, no. Okay, so
Favorite rapper maybe.
J. Cole's my favorite rapper. I was
Okay.
gonna say like, but if like, Future is some special, bro.
He really is.
Damn,
Yeah.
man. Like, oh yeah. So he was my number one top artist. I guess I listened to those Future songs this year. You know,
You know what?
I
That's all
wasn't surprised, but I was also kind of like, fuck, god damn it. Like, of course it's Future. But nothing wrong with Future. It's just that he is the most toxic human being of all time.
He really is.
Yeah.
But he's such an earworm, bro. I mean, you can put on damn near any Future song and it's just like, I could listen to this all day.
100%.
I got
Oh,
really into
shit.
Purple Rain this
Oh,
year.
man, Purple Rain.
hanging
dude.
out with Trey really got
God
me into Purple
Damn.
Rain.
And you just keep like at first I was like, oh yeah, Percocet Stripper Joint, that's my favorite Future song.
Oh my
And
god.
then throughout the
dude.
year I'm like, oh shit, My Collection, dude. Such a good song. The most misogynistic, terrible. Even if I hit you once, you're part of my collection. Like it's just like, oh damn, but it also is like, oh damn.
Yeah.
And then now it's like I fucking love Codeine Crazy, bro. Codeine Crazy.
Codeine Crazy.
Some of
Dude.
the best artists out there say what's on their mind, whether it's politically correct or not.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
feel like music's kind of lost that.
Future's willing to say
Future just
whatever.
gets the pass because he's so from the hood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like bro is just entrenched in the trenches.
I just took a piss and I seen codeine
Yeah.
coming
and,
out.
and honestly, like, bruh, it's so fucked that they got Thugger right now.
Yeah.
But if they ever get Future, bro, riots.
Yeah.
Oh.
Atlanta
they
Atlanta
can't have
will
Future,
fall
bro.
apart.
They can't have Future.
Yeah.
Future means too much.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck.
I mean Thug means
Thug
nearly as much,
Yeah.
but
Future.
yeah,
Take them
Future.
both, and it's gonna be some problems.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that would be
some
tough.
problems.
I hope he's not in any racketeering or
Free
anything
Thug.
like
But
that.
back to the
Thug.
drug thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard a snippet of an interview where Future said that he's sober,
Mm-hmm.
that he doesn't actually do drugs, and to me that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because like
He's just
I
been
mean-
around the culture so much that he can like he's witnessed
sure
and
that-
can recount
and-
on other
and he's
people's.
definitely done all those drugs. Like there's
Exactly.
no, like there's been points in his life, and it must just be like A tolerance thing. I mean, for me, I've obviously done some drugs in my day,
Retweet.
but
Retweet.
but like, I'm never a productive person on drugs, and not to mention if I was on, I'm not personally,
Right.
Like, and that's
Yeah.
just and that's my.
But
own
if you're
personal
on
experience.
like codeine and Percocets and
how are
fucking-
you gonna make? How do you make a song like fucking? Like, I don't even know how he does it, bro. It's just like,
Yeah.
if
how do you
that
spend hours in the studio without, falling asleep or fucking
yeah.
just not getting done what you need to get done? And then, not to mention, performing. Granted, Future is not the best performing artist. Like, he kind of, I feel like I need
Your
to see Future
your
'cause,
typical rap show.
like, no,
It's just like
not gonna get
he's
his
playing
max
he's
up
playing
round.
he's
not
playing
gonna
the
get
full
his max
he's
up
playing the full track with maybe
Yeah.
like the vocals turned down a little
and
bit.
He's gonna do a couple bars here and there.
Yeah, but it's all
And
like
he might literally just stand
the
there.
hyphiness of the song that
I
creates
was
the
so fucking
At the
crazy
same
at a
time, you're
Future
still
show,
getting
bro.
Future. I mean, that's just
God
kind of who he is,
damn,
and he's
yeah,
been doing this shit
straight
for
up.
so long, and he's been at the
Yeah.
top of the game before.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, he just obviously does it because he
Yeah.
loves it.
And
But
his most recent album, the I Never Liked You, the one where he's sitting in the back of the Rolls Royce with
Mhm.
the fucking
yeah.
sleepy
Oh, that one
time
shit's
eye blinders.
that shit's gas.
That album is so good. And then Future, honestly, like, you can listen to a whole Future album. There's not a lot of trap rappers that you can listen through a whole
Like
album.
top to bottom,
Top to
like every
bottom.
single
And-
song. Yeah,
Yeah.
Purple Rain's one of those ones.
Purple
Like I
Rain,
mentioned, I could listen to every song on
Dirty
Purple
Sprite
Rain.
2.
he kind of
D-
reminds me of like
DS2 is
a
like
fucking-
arguably one of the best albums
Maybe
that's
the
ever come
best
out.
trap album ever.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
He reminds me of the new and improved Gucci Mane. Like, Gucci Mane did his thing.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorites for a really long time.
Gucci Mane still has a special place
Oh,
in
for
my
sure.
heart,
He
for
will
sure.
always have a
Ooh,
special
I'm
place
so
in
proud
my
of
heart.
you.
Yeah.
I'd live God,
But-
right there, for sure.
Wop.
Yeah. Future kind of took it on the new age level and had all the things that Gucci Mane, made him, but like just the auto tune and all of like the distortion in Future's voice, like he
Yeah.
just has that kind
And the
of.
mystery behind him, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
There's
like
not a lot known about him really.
no, he's just a mysterious motherfucker.
I
Bro.
think he
very
like,
loud.
that's
He moves like a drug dealer. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
his whole thing. I mean, he's just such a fucking.
yeah.
He's just in the trenches, dog. He's a trap god. Trap
He
god.
is, absolutely.
Moves different.
Yeah.
Alex, what was your number one artist this year?
My number one artist has been my number one artist for the past 3 years, and I'm curious as to when it will not be my number one artist, and it is XXX Tentacion.
You're still listening to him?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I didn't have any like songs that were in my top 10 even by him. He was definitely top 20 in some songs, but I would say number 12 on my top songs was with Joey Badass.
Oh yeah.
So we dropped that song about that.
The start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. That was a sick
Dude,
song.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. It was like literally the first like intro song that he dropped before he dropped the album.
I
Was-
like that song. Yeah.
Dude, if you guys haven't heard it, go listen to it.
It details the story really well about.
So, one really cool story about X and Joey. So this song, literally, X had his entire Question Mark album done, and then he had Joey come over because X was on house arrest. So Joey came and saw him, and he talks about this in the song. But X was showing him the entire project, and Joey was like, "I fucks with it," but there's one thing that's missing, and it was that older kind of just like
boom bap style.
Yup.
Yeah, 90s style
Yeah.
track that needed to be in there.
So yeah, it's called Infinity 888. Go check it out if you haven't heard it. But
That's
That's
a
a
Joey song.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the-
it's
so that's
it's
the
an
song-
XXX
That's the
song.
that's the
that
song
features
that
Joey.
and this was the
Yeah.
last song that
I
was
need to listen to
recorded
that
on
song.
X's Question Mark album, which is arguably one of his best albums. Rest in peace to him. But yeah, no, X has always been that one artist ever since I was, high school still for sure. X came up in a really, really tough spot. His mom was, dancing for money and didn't really have his dad in his life and all this shit. So, yeah, literally, he was a prime example of coming from nothing, making it into something, doing what you want to do, and also just taking care of yourself. And at first, he was very controversial, and rightfully so. He came from a very, very, tough childhood.
And then
But-
all the accusations about him
That's what
beating
always
his
turned me off about X,
yeah the
man.
accusations that he had
accusations
of
were
like
scary.
beating his baby mama
The
and
coat
shit.
hanger shit.
Yeah.
Not good shit.
Yeah, there's videos where he speaks on it. I'm not going to
Yeah,
get too into
for
that because
sure.
I'm not trying to,
Yeah, we don't
Run
want
it
to we
down.
don't
Not
want to
trying to
put him in a
convince
negative light or
anybody.
anything, but
convince anybody one way or another. However you feel on X. But personally, for me, he was so diverse in his music, and he literally did everything and anything. I think the only thing he probably didn't drop is like a real country song. He
Yeah.
could do,
True.
he could do pop, he could do rock, he could do like hardcore metal, he could do like sad rap, he could do singing, he could do like
He could
literally
do the
rap
boom-
talking about the government. He could
The
do
90s rap.
yeah, boom bap.
All those adjectives kind of remind me of like a Denzel Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah.
Denzel Curry and him
I mean,
are
they're both from Florida.
Yeah.
Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale. So,
That Florida shit.
and also with Kodak, also with Ski Mask, you know, obviously because they're members only.
Mhm.
But
Those Florida boys are something
dude,
different.
Florida Boys changed the game. Denzel Curry is one of my favorite artists all time.
Yeah.
He always will be. And yeah, X. He's just one person I always listen to. I double back to his music so much throughout the year just because the way that he did shit was so different. He came up off a lot of controversy
Mm-hmm.
and then slowly came into helping people. I also learned about frequencies and how to alter different frequencies to help with your
Mhm.
emotions, how they resonate with the brain. Also, just I learned so much from that fool. I will never ever not be listening to
That's
X.
legit. That's
Purely
super
and
legit.
like I don't care about the accusations. Everyone does their shit.
I feel you.
At the end of his life, though, he was
he's
trying
dead
to
now,
become At the end of his life, he was trying to become the best person he possibly could, and he really was switching shit around. I don't know if you know about the Indigo thing, capital Steez, just
Yeah.
Indigo,
Oh,
kind of So he like had that indigo hair at the end as like almost a transformation as to coming into the light. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, he is a
Yeah,
he'll
it's a life
always
that's
be-
short, for sure.
for sure, man. He was so young.
Yeah, terrible way to go out too, to just get gunned down in your own car. Like,
Dude, he was out looking at motorcycles, and he literally went out to his fat BMW and literally,
got ran up on.
Yeah, he got ran up on, but
Yeah,
That's great. I feel blessed not to be living that life. Not gonna
agreed.
Lie. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I've thought about, you know, as an empath, putting myself in other people's positions. It's
Mhm.
like, man, growing up that way is
Yeah.
so foreign to me, and I can only imagine. Like, I can't even imagine like how that would actually affect you as a
To-
person.
To circle back around, I would say that our music stays true to us, right?
Mhm,
Like
exactly.
we make rap music, but it's not.
It's
don't-
it's Boise rap music.
it's-
Like, there's no.
It's authentic. It's authentic to our lifestyle.
Exactly.
Which has its struggles, which has real trials and tribulations, and it's just a different lifestyle. You know?
It is completely.
different
You
lifestyle.
grew up in a different part of the country.
Yeah,
like,
and so to me, that's one of the. I struggle with being inauthentic in music sometimes, almost to a fault.
mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I would like sometimes to just make a song about Lamborghinis and fucking bitches.
But you don't
like,
live. But you don't
but
live
I
that.
don't live that like yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's like until I make it there, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
So,
rap
like,
about
it's
what I
like,
got
dude, I gotta
going
rap about
on.
what I got, man. And yeah, so
That's why I don't rap, is because I don't have much to say.
Oh, you
My
rap.
life was
You're a
so
rapper.
my life has been so vanilla. It's like, dude, I don't have much to say. So that's why I went
Yeah, I
I
feel
went
you.
production side. I was
Man,
like,
you put it into your production though, dude.
Yeah.
It's a real.
There's the
100%.
emotion. There's the emotion there. You
Yeah.
definitely gotta gain a feeling when you're doing it.
I'm not gonna lie, I did a lot of stupid shit growing up.
Yeah, same.
And I went through like
Same.
probably 5-6 year period where I was doing all sorts of shit.
Yep.
So like it gives me a lot to talk about, and I also went through a lot of just like family and shit, but
Same.
it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
No.
And
That's
you know,
why
like,
that's
take
why
a
you
music
rap about
is-
it now.
take-
Yeah,
taking
music is.
Music is though, so this is therapeutic going
Yeah,
through all that shit.
you get
that
to
I did
talk
go
about
through.
it, recount about it.
It
like,
worked out and it was meant to be because it gives
Mhm.
me shit to talk about, which is cool. But yeah, go listen to Head High if you haven't heard that. That's the song with Joey talking about X.
Hey.
Mhm.
Also, King's Dead Freestyle. It's an unreleased song with Joey and X.
Yep.
Crazy song.
And then while you're listening to music, listen to Louie C.
100%.
Yeah.
And pretty soon, Luddy. Luddy's gonna have some music coming out. here
Yes.
soon. And it's a sick ass tape. He's gonna be on my next album.
Before the end of the year, I'll have an EP dropping.
Yep.
It'll be
Yep.
7 songs, and then I also have a feature on Louis'
Yeah,
next
get excited.
album.
And then we're gonna have a show February 9th, right?
February 9th
February
at
9th
East Side Tavern.
At East Side Tavern. It used to be the old
The
Crickets.
old Crickets.
Here on Boise Avenue.
I actually got my car totaled in that parking lot.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I
Shout
remember
out
you
to
telling-
shout out
good
to the
memories
girl
there.
that knows who did that one.
Yeah, right.
Hey, well, all right. I'm gonna say, that's it.
Yeah.
For this episode.
Top 5 artists of the year.
Top 5 artists of the year. On the next episode, we'll talk about our top 5 songs.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks for tuning in. This is Speaking Into the Void with Louie, Luddy, and Sherm.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Alrighty. Peace out, y'all.
Music, what moves me? I try to walk a fine line, but I find I'm influenced by drugs all the time. When I'm using, I'm not truly Lewis. I start to stray from the things that I truly love. Music, what moves me? I try to walk a fine line, but I find I'm influenced by drugs all the time. When I'm using, I'm not truly Lewis. I start to stray from the things that I truly love. No one's words can explain to me. Pain just a game that I play with myself on the daily. Sometimes I get lazy, want to escape with a line of the finest of fabricated cocaine. In my lane where I'm faded and truly I'm swerving till flashing lights got me explaining myself to a jury. Worried this won't be the last time, finding I've lost where I'm going.